Here in part 3 of week 5 process modeling, we continue to Runge-Kutta method. Runge-Kutta method can achieve the accuracy of a Taylor series without calculations of the higher derivatives. Although the formula is the same, okay, the increment function is different in this case, as expressed by equations 22.34 in here, where the a's are the constant and the k's are calculated according to these equations in here. Okay, since k2 calculations requires knowing the value of k1, and k3 requires knowing the value of k2 and k1, and kn calculation requires knowing the value of kn minus 1, k2 and k1, and the previous case, it means that we have in here is a recurrence relation. So this will be easy if executed in the programming environment such as MATLAB. Okay. Even though there are various types of Runge-Kutta methods, for example, if we put n is equal 1, then the Runge-Kutta method will become a first order Runge-Kutta, which is in fact a Euler methods. Okay. For the second order Runge-Kutta method, then the error will be equal to the step size raised to 3, whereas for the fourth order Runge-Kutta method, then the error will be equal to step size raised to 4. The most popular Runge-Kutta method is the classical fourth order Runge-Kutta method, with the expression shown in these equations 22.44, and then we have the k1 and until k4 calculations defined as in here. Okay, if the ODE is a function of t alone, then the classical fourth order Runge-Kutta method will be similar to the Simpson's 1/3 rule. Okay, by looking at this formula of this 22.4, then we can see that this equation is basically represent a weighted average of the slopes that we calculate k1, k2, k3, and k4. So for example, this line in here showing the weighted average. Here we show the example of calculating this ODE, which we have done in the previous example for the Euler's method, and I discussed this in detail, and I show you in detail also in my additional materials. So let's say for this particular ODE, okay, we have this formula in here. Then we start with the calculations of K1. The calculations of the K1 requires the initial conditions. Then we get 3 in here. Then we calculate next K2. K2 in here is basically, we need these functions in here. T naught plus half plus h, half multiplied by h, I mean, and then y naught plus half multiplied by K1 by h. Okay, so you get K2 in here, and then the K3 requires K2. Okay, we get this K3 in here, and then we get this K4 in here, which requires K3. And then once we get all of this, then we put in, then our y1 will be equal to 6.201. And what is amazing in here is that when we calculate with the real solution that we have derived in the previous part of the video, we can see that the error is quite small. It's only 0.1%. Okay, so this basically shows you the steps, and you can go and inspect the details by yourself and try to repeat the calculations. Okay, then moving on into the next example. We want to solve the same problem that we show for the Euler method. Okay, but in here we use Runge-Kutta method. It's called RK4. Again, we put in the initial the final, and then this one is the initial condition or the initial value for the concentration. This one is the steps. We try 10 steps and 100 steps. As we can see in here, this blue one is the 10 steps one, whereas that the dash line ones is the 100 steps one, which is more smooth in terms of the curve. Okay, this in here shows the details of the RK-form M files function that you can use to solve the previous example. Okay, in here what is implied in here is that f in here is the name of the function, a in here is the left endpoint, b is the right endpoint, ya is the initial value of your, in this particular case that you use it's concentrations, and then m in here is the number of steps. Again, the code that begins with this percentage will not be executed. Okay, so this one shows the calculations of the step size. These two making a matrix or making a vector for the time, and this one is for the dependent variables. Okay, and then this in here is basically starting the initial values for the time and the value of the dependent variable. Okay, and then this in here basically evaluate the value of the k1 until k4, and then this one in here is calculating the value of the dependent variables, and then this t is basically giving the iterate or it's basically defining the next time value. Okay, the details I think we can discuss if you want to if you have a confusions or something to ask, but I think you can look at this problem and then try to think about how they actually work if you put in a particular value. Okay, then moving on into the next example. We want to discuss the basic stir tank. Okay, let's say we have a simple tank with a non-volumetric flow rate of F1 and a non-volumetric outflow rate F2. Then what we want is to determine the level Z of the fluid in the tank as a function of time T. So what we do is the mass balance. We multiply in the accumulations the term density come out, as well as in the right hand side as well, and then there will be a cross-sectional area of the tank multiplied by the height of the water or the liquid in the tank, and in here is the flow rate of the liquid. Okay, which can be simplified into these equations in here, assuming that the density and the cross-sectional area are constant. Let's say if we put in values stated in here, okay, with the sinusoidal varying input flow, okay, and then this W is equal to 1 minus 1 minutes minus 1, and the cross-sectional area of 0.9, then we can solve this mass balance become this with the initial conditions of this, and which we can solve using these functions in here basically just represent our ODE in here. Okay, this ODE in here. So as we can see in this in here we have an input of time and then an input of Z as well. And this example 33 is basically running the example using an ODE 45, which is a toolbox that is available in MATLAB. Okay, it wants to find this one is the initial height, and then this ones want to find the height from between 0 to 100. Okay, if we plot it in here, then we will get something like this. This one is the height of the tank from 0 to 100, and then this one is the flow rate into the tank from 0 to 100. And the next what we can do is we can make this dimensionless variable into the dimensionless model, where we limit the variable magnitude to within unity and improve understanding of the model. We define all these variables in here, including the residence time. Okay, and this one is the conversions from the dimension 1 into the dimensionless one, including the variables as well, the details of which I show in my additional materials in here. Okay, if I move into a page 3 in here, is basically showing these conversions of those into the dimensions variable. So this one with the height, this one is the time, this one is the flow, this one is the residence time, and then you basically convert this one into these variables in here based on these 4 equations. Okay, so that you get these things in here, and then by inserting all these values in here, you will get that this value of the b divided by f2 will be equal to 0.1 and c divided by f2 is equal to 1. So now we get this in here. Then we create two different functions. These functions in here is just giving the dimensionless basic tank model, which is these equations in here. And then these functions in here will basically calculate using MATLAB and plot the dimensionless tank response and the dimensionless in terms of the inflow rate and then the tank height. Okay, and these slides in here, next one, basically shows the dimensionless inflow rate and the dimensionless tank height. This one in here shows the inflow change with time. This one in here is the dimensionless tank height. As you can see, the magnitude, the relative magnitude of the inflow is larger than the variations in the tank height. Okay, so the dimensionless analysis will show you this relative magnitude change. It's which is quite important. Okay, before I move into the ideal binary distillation column, I think I will stop my video for this part in here. Thank you for listening.